Hi, I'm Josh Ockman, Park Industries Customer Service Department. On this video, we are going to explain how the oil system works with the Yukon and what to look for if you're troubleshooting it. So how the oil system is set up is every time the x-axis moves 10 feet, it should give it a burst of air, which then causes the oiler system to oil each component it's going to. In the Yukon case, it would be your X and Z bearings. So first thing to check would be driving your x-axis at least 10 feet and just listening real carefully for an air burst. If you're not hearing an air burst, the first thing you're going to want to check is underneath the trough tray here. You can see there's the 8-port board. You should see the oiler light flash for a second there. You can also watch your output screen, refer to your prints on which output is your oiler output and see if that flashes on your screen then. If that is, then everything's getting the command to, we need to figure out why it's not. So when this MAC valve, this is our oiler MAC valve, when this gets a signal from the PLC that it needs to fire, you'll hear a burst of air, something like that. It gives it just one shot of air and that will grease the system. If you're getting your output on your 8-port block and you're not hearing that burst of air, then more than likely the MAC valve is the issue and that needs to be replaced. If you are hearing the burst of air yet and you're still not getting oil, we'll step over to our cross travel here. One other thing to keep in mind, if you're not getting any output at all from your screen, we want to check our x-axis proximity switch here, make sure that that's flashing. That's what's reading your position, and that's what's counting how many feet you are driving to tell it to fire there. So if all that is working, then we're down to our grease or our oil distribution block here. This bottom line right here is our air blast, so we can make sure we're getting air to that. The other bottom line here is just coming straight from our oil reservoir. So oil should be always flowing to your valve here, and when it gives it a pulse of air, it pushes the oil through to all 4 components. So in this case, the X and Z bearings. If you want to, you can open these oilers up to give it more oil. All you have to do is flathead screwdriver and back these screws out, and that will give it more oil. You can turn it in to give it less oil. Factory settings for these oilers, they're all 4 the same. It is turn this all the way in until it just bottoms out, and then you will back it out 2 full revolutions. While we're here, the oil reservoir, if you're having an issue with it saying low oil all the time, you can clean the low oil level sensor. That float needs to be able to float up and down freely, so you can clean that up. If it's still saying that, just double check on your 8-port board that your wire connections look good. Also make sure every once in a while cleaning out the screen in there, and so that you have good oil flow there. So that's basically how the oil system works on the Yukon. As always, if you have any questions, please let our customer service department know. Thank you.